Hey everybody. Hope y'all are doing all right. Oh. Let me turn this down in my ears a little bit. All right. I've turned down total. Might be a little bit too loud. All right. Just checking my mic, checking my volume. Give me one moment. Check. Also, my got monitors today. Just checking my mic. Check, check, check. Let's see, there's going to be a bad feedback. 1 second. Check, check, check. Check, check, check. That's very strange. I'm like 99% certain that it's playing something. Interesting. There we go. Check, check, check. Sorry, you're probably hearing double for a second. Okay, I think that works. All right, pop headphones back in. We know if sound's way off. All right. Let's see. So I want to go over first kind of what we did last time, where we're at now. Let's see. So if we go ahead and hit play here. All right. So here's where we're at. We have pretty good control. It looks good. It feels pretty good. So, yeah. Going up. Feels good, looks good. I mean, I don't think you can beat that. I think no changes necessary now, which is fantastic. Took a little while to get here, but we're there. Oh, I'm underneath the water. That's okay. It's just because it's a weird tile. And I got to be careful about making all my tiles. That's all right. No big deal. Okay. So, as you can see, the goal for today, what we're trying to get done today, is we are trying to select our people here. And I want to be able to click one. I want it to select and know which player I clicked. And then I want to be able to kind of go around, hit a different button, and it pop back over to the player. I also want the tile to change a little bit. I'm thinking kind of glow, like maybe like a light glow when it highlights somebody that can be clicked. And then when you click them, it goes bigger, and maybe like different clicks depending on if you're clicking a good guy or a bad guy here. Yeah, so I think that's kind of the goal here. Oh, this feels so good. Like, unreal. Oh, zooming out on a corner is weird. That's a bug. Zooming out elsewhere is fine. It's just zooming out on the corner. Okay, I know why that is. I know what's going on. It's It's just that, oh yeah. There might be something I could do there. Let's fix that first. Let's check. So one of the things I'm doing is let's see. Right here. When I'm following the target here, I'm going to the halfway point, which is essentially adjusting me from the corner to the middle. I may try making a 0 for a second, just see how it feels. I think it's not going to really work because the block isn't centered. You see that? But it probably does work a little better for like this. I can zoom out a little better on the corners. But I am on the corner, and that might not work for all angles. Oh man, it does work pretty well. Thank you. Hey, Ironic, how you doing? Yeah, it's coming along pretty good. I've got good control. It feels great. I can zoom. I can rotate pretty well. My controls all go with my rotation. I've got some people. It's coming along. I have this weird bug, which I guess you can't see it now because I fixed it sort of. But except the center of the screen isn't quite the center of the tile. So I've got a couple things I was going to try. Ultimately, I'll show you how I did have it. I did have it center when it's tracking. The only problem there is, I'll show you here. So it looks really good, it feels really good, it's more centered, right? Feels great, except there's this weird case where if I'm on an edge and I zoom out, the way it's tracking and staying on zooming out is it's constantly going to the middle. And actually, I like that it tracks to the middle, and this is the only time I have that problem. I guess I have it in rotation too. Anyway, so that's what I'm working on really quick, and then I'm gonna work on character selection. So I actually think I may leave this at 0. I'm gonna leave the +0 in case I wanna update it. I might just have to offset the camera by half point. So, because I'm actually like offset the control arm or the spring arm by half a tile. Because if I do it at 0, I don't run into that same problem, and it feels really good. So ultimately, I think that's pretty good. So I might have to leave it like this. It's probably better anyway, because then my target, you can see down there, actually matches. Otherwise, target's actually off by half. So yeah, feels pretty good. And then I have joystick control. This is joystick control. After I go from joystick control to D-pad control, it locks back on, which is pretty good. I can control with the mouse if I just wanted to click something. And then I have control with the WASD key, arrow keys, which kind of centers around the camera, understandably. That reminds me, I do need to lock, limit, I'll put it down here because I want to do this first, but I do need to limit panning up and down. So I have a little bit of work there. But ultimately, pretty happy with it. Okay, so I think I am going to keep this just because it feels a whole lot better. I do still get that. Okay, I got to think about that. Because if I still have the problem, it's probably not even worth it. It just moves the problem. Oh, broke it. Okay, that's all right. So that's probably not worth it. It probably is worth it just to stay here. Let's see. So I think what I have to do next, maybe if I speed up when I'm rotating, when I'm rotating, how am I tracking? So I do have a delta speed. If I increase this by a lot, it might prevent the shaking. It also might make the shaking just go really fast. So if you're sensitive to screen shaking, watch your eyes. Ooh, that's bad. Okay, never mind. Nope. That is not at all what I want. Let's see. I think I had it. Let's see. When I zoom out. Let's see. So it's speed times 2. And then I set the delta speed up, and that triggers me back to the middle. Let's start with this tier. This should track me to the middle. I might need 2 speeds. Oh my goodness. Okay, never mind. That control system did not work at all. I think it would. Let me check here. So if that's probably what's going on, yeah. So, well, no, I can just go through the ground. Because why can't I go through the ground? I'm not sure it breaks. Let me add that to my notes of things. Spring arm doesn't collide with ground. It should, right? I just haven't tested it yet. Oh shoot. Of course, I'm stuck in my game window. There you go. Let's see what's going on there. That's an interesting one because I would have expected it to, but for some reason I can go through it, which is interesting. Maybe I might need to increase the length of the arm. These have collision, right? I mean, the people standing on here are standing on there because of collision, right? Like if I reset, they get dropped. So there's no reason they shouldn't be colliding, unless I missed that. Yeah. So that's interesting. Unless I don't have collision on my spring arm. Let's see something real quick. Okay, spring leg 0.5. Let me make it 10 just to see what happens here. No, that's not what I wanted to do. Reset that to, let me see, I think it was 0.5. I'll check it out 1. I might need a, oh, wait. Let's see. I might need to turn collision on the spring arm. Maybe I don't have collision on. Let's check. So I definitely don't have collision on this. I'm guessing it's, let's see, collision mask. Shape. I think if I set it like just some shape, I think if maybe with shape none, it would do nothing. Nope. Camera body doesn't have a collision shape. Yeah, that probably is the problem. Good call. I can just make a sphere. This should be fine. Oh man, it doesn't like that at all. Okay, so here's what I think's happening. Let me look at the 3D node here. I'm guessing my collision box, which is here, is inside the camera, and I need to move it. Essentially, my raycast is hitting it. That's probably why we deleted it last time. Okay, so actually I can make this a little tiny dot. And that probably fixes it. I also probably could put it on the spring arm. I'm not sure there. Okay, so that fixes that, and then does it... Okay, there we go. That fixes it. I mean, now I can zoom in at least. Perfect. Thanks for the debugging there. I didn't even think about collision on my camera. Good call. All right. Very good. Okay, so that's fixed. That didn't last long. So I'm guessing then if I increase the length of the spring arm, it should do spring arm things. Let's see. I need to learn all about spring arms. Okay, let's see. No, so it just stops. I'm guessing my spring arm would need collision if that was the case, like at the end of it. I guess because the camera sits in front of the spring arm. But ultimately, I think it's fine. For now, it's doing what I want it to do. No, nothing's setting the spring length. The spring length is just in there. I can set this back to none. So yeah, I mean, I haven't touched the spring length code. And nothing sets it. Oh, it does not like that. Okay, so it kind of works. I mean, if you set it super high. Let's set it to like 25. I'm just trying to see it to do something. More to learn, because I'm not sure, you know. I remember when we set this last time, right? It kind of taught me a little bit about what was going on. But now I'm not so sure I know. Not sure I understand. All right, let's check here. Oh, so now it's just breaking. Oh my goodness, what is going on there? Fighting with the body now. It should be on a different layer. I broke it. So you're saying this should be on a different collision mask? I'm going to change this back down to 1. Okay, I see. So you're saying the spring arm is colliding with the camera. That makes sense. Okay, so now it's staying 1 meter away. Oh, well, now it's staying. Now I can't move out further than 1. Oh my goodness. I don't know what's going on. Something crazy is happening. I might have been better off. Let's check. So let me change this back to 10 really quick. There's obviously something that's going on here that's kind of strange. Okay, it doesn't like that, but I think it's actually underneath it. Let's see. Sorry about the flashing here. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna set this back to 0.5. I'm gonna leave this collision shape here. Okay, I can zoom way out, but man, it's shaking, which I didn't have a problem with at all here. Let me think, why would that be? Why would it shake like that? Because it's, you know what's happening? Yeah, it's the raycast. The raycast is seeing the spring arm, but why wasn't it seeing it before? Is it because I had a shape here? It's the collision mask. So I should be checking. I'm sure it has the same collision mask. So yeah, it looks pretty good. And it gets within half a meter, I'm sure. Okay, let me see. So let's set this back to 2. So I'm going to set this on like collision mask of 2. And then if we look at the camera, this collision shape, let's see. So this one, I can't change the collision mask of it, which is probably okay because it's saying, hey, this is the absolute collision mask on the camera. All my players, they have collision shapes. So let's see. So on the body, this collision shape you're talking about, right? And then I have this one, which has a collision mask. And it's going on layer 2. I think if I turn the collision mask off, my understanding is it just wouldn't collide with anything. Like, I don't think this is really doing spring arm things. Maybe that little bit, but it's working fine. So unless that's half a meter, if I change this to 2 meters, let's see what happens. Because I should have some, should stay back from the ground a little bit. Okay. I think that's farther back. Not sure it's 2 meters maybe. Perception's hard. Perspective is hard. Let's see. Okay, yeah, that works pretty well. I don't need it to be 10. So I've got it on collision mask 2. That seems to be working pretty well. Oh, interesting. Okay, so is that interesting? I just broke through it, and now that I broke through it, I can't get back out of it. There we go. So strange. Yeah, it's behaving really weird. Okay, let's see if we can fix this bug. So if I go there, right, I'm holding in zoom and then I turn, or maybe it's I go down. Yeah. Then I can't get back out further. So when I try zooming out, nothing. Very interesting. Let me see. Let me see if I can learn a little bit about collision masks here. The layers which the collision check shall be done. So if I have something on like layer 0, I'm zooming. I have left and right buttons here. I have them programmed to essentially change the Y direction of this camera character right here. So all it does is set the Y velocity. It's pretty straightforward. And let's see. So it's still interesting here. So there's collision. So I have like collision layer 1 with camera. I might not even need, I might be able to keep it as is and just use like a safe margin of like 10 meters here. Completely get rid of the collision here. Not worry about it. That may be the best thing here. Change the spring length instead of moving the body up and down to zoom. Oh, interesting. So you're saying instead of zooming the body up and down, just change the spring length? That's what spring length is for? What's the functional difference? Like, is it like if you were playing a first person shooter and you walk up to the wall and it kind of keeps you back, right? Let's see. This looks pretty well. The way I have this right now is I just have on here a safe margin is 1. So let's try it. Let's try it how you're saying. I think that's a quick code, quick check. So instead of changing Y velocity, the only thing here, if I did it differently, let's try it anyway. So I'll just comment these out. That's fine. And then what I can do is, let's see. I could say spring arm 3D dot spring. Let's see, what is it called here? Spring length. Let's check what the spring length. So set length. So dot set length. Set length. Equals spring arm 3D dot get length plus 1. That should zoom. We'll do -1. On the identifier, attribute access, and description access can be used. Let's check the documentation here. Oh, so I need to put the value in there. Okay, that's fine. So what I need is make it self-referencing, something like that. Okay. And then down here, make it +1. All right. And then I would need to set collision back on this. Give it a shape. Okay. So let's see. I think the only issue is I'm not going to start. Yeah, it just breaks. Let's see. So it didn't like get length here. So set length is fine. Oh, you know what? Somehow I thought I copied it. Maybe not. Okay, that's all right. All right, let's give this a shot. Whew, okay. Okay, so that's the only problem is, I mean, it's tracking, but I'd have to slow that way down, of course. I could do like 0.1 or something. So then the question is, why is that zoom better? Do you know functionally like is the camera body way in the air? I mean, like it starts higher in the area. I think I might leave it on the Y. I liked how that was working, and I kind of liked the thing. And I'm not doing a third person here, where I think spring arm would be really, really useful. I'm gonna hold on to this in case I run into different weird things. But I think I like this, and I think I like turning collision off here and turning this to like the margin to like 5 or yeah. I think something like this. If I run this, I can definitely see where if you're working like a first person or like a third person game where you need that kind of bounce, it locks in place well. It's pretty clean. The only thing is this. You think spring arm would help with that? So I'll tell you what's happening code-wise. So what's happening here is it tracks the Z position by looking at what's in the middle of the screen, right? And pulling the layer information from it to capture this target grid Y value, I guess Y position technically. So then, if I zoom in here, it's fine. If I zoom in here, it's fine. Anywhere around here is fine, but when there's a thing in the way here, it's not fine. And spring arm actually might help with that. So that might be a good use of it. But what I would need to do, the only thing I need to do to incorporate that is I need to track better. And what I mean by that, and I guess I could try like 0.1, right? Instead of 1. And so let me check out the translation here, right? Because I think that I coded this and made it work thinking not really using value. So I think we could set that at 0 instead of 5, right? And that gets it out of the air, which is helpful. Okay. So now, I start. That's not good. Okay. That does feel really good, except the tracking. It needs to track a little better, but I think I can fix that by changing that delta speed. That's the point of that delta speed parameter. And that feels so good. Okay. You know, ironic, I think I'm sold. It took a little bit of coming up to speed on it, but I think he sold me on it. So let me change this delta speed back. Thanks for hanging out and being patient through that process. So let's see then. Yeah, I gotta fix that where the camera starts. And I need to set the collision back. Yeah, I agree with you. I think that keeps the camera close. I think what's happening, what that helps with, I agree. Yeah, I think it keeps the pivot point in one place, which is super helpful. So it's a really good point. I think that tracks a lot better this way, and it looks great. So, sorry for my lack of understanding for a bit, but you sold me on it. I still am having some issues there. I'm not sure. Well, I guess I know why, because it's bouncing around on the to the upper plane, and I think I can fix that. I mean, otherwise just do turn, but okay. I do need to set the camera up where the player starts on top of it, but I think I could just pick a point, right? I mean, it doesn't have to. I think that should be okay. Because it would still go to the ground, right? Oh, it fell. which is interesting. What was that about? Okay. That's fine. Alright, I gotta work through that. Let me see if I can work through that bug. That is way smoother though, I think. That's a good zoom. It's probably a little slow. I do want it to go like a little faster, so maybe like a 0.2. Yeah, that feels pretty good. I gotta fix that. Okay. Let me think real quick. So I'm thinking while I'm zooming, I need to just set the Z, right? So while I'm zooming, it needs to turn off this where I'm pulling the Z. And then I think that fixes it. Let me think. So it's starting to track instead of moving the pivot. Yeah, sorry, I was reading your old message. Let me think here. I do like that. Let me set this to 0 or 1 instead of, before I forget, instead of 2, so I'm not falling. This should just set me on the ground. Oh man, why is it starting so high? Maybe it is 0. Maybe it should be 0. Let's see. Oh, but my collision needs that. Kind of strange. I'm not sure. Let me check this real quick. So let me turn on my spring arm. Set my collision back up. Let's do a sphere. I'll make it really tiny. I'm gonna get stuck, huh? I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on there. Let's see. So that didn't work. That was because the collision mask is 2. Fully expecting not to be able to. Good. Okay, so I've got to not start in the middle of the ground. So I guess just start at like 0.1. Not the spring arm. Should be 0. Camera should be 0.1. So let's see. Transform the up direction. I think that's keeping it still. Okay. 0.2. I guess I can look at the screen here. Maybe 1's right. I just don't know why it was falling. Not sure I understand the gravity bit there. Let's see. Maybe I should make it a 1x1 block. Let's see. I also have this. I think I just need collision. Well, maybe I need collision on both. But the spring arm 3D should have collision. Okay. Oh, you know what? This is easier than that, right? It's already in contact with the ground. That's what I'm not getting. And then what I'm doing is setting I bet anything, I'm setting the spring length to like a negative number. Let's check. Print. I guess I can do that here. Clamp it. Is there, so I was planning on clamping it with code. Is there let's see if there is a clamp. No, not that I know of. Got it. Makes sense. Okay. Yeah, I think that I could just clamp it. My get, so I was planning on just doing it with code. I guess before I do that, is there so I need a variable for spring arm length. There's no clamp property on this object, is there? Let's find out. I don't think so. Okay. Cool. Okay, so there's actually like a clamp function. So, oh, okay. That sounds good. Let's give that a shot. So let's create var spring length. But we're actually going to make it initialize at like 10 instead of 0.5. And then on my zoom, I guess I would do that. I could do that just up here in ready. I could say spring length equals clamp. Very cool. Spring length 0, comma. Yeah, I'm gonna make it like 25. That might be too high. We'll see. Sprint length. This is an agile here. We're doing nothing, no sprints. Let's see. Okay. It is way off. Let me try it again. Let me make sure I'm printing. Oh, you know what I didn't do? Spring length. And then, so let's see. Spring length, and then spring length equals get equals spring arm 3D dot get length plus 1 minus 1. What isn't it like? Found identifier instead, so spring length. Spring arm already has a spring length property. Okay, so it already has a spring length property. So then I would say, instead, you'd say like spring clamp spring arm 3D dot spring length. I see. And then I don't need this. I gotcha. I need to clamp it every time I set it. Okay, so this is like it. Let me undo just everything I just did. So, okay, so let me look up clamp real quick, just so I make sure I understand it, because at the moment I apparently don't. I was thinking this was I set a variable and I set them in max, but what it actually is a dynamic thing where I can set it equals clamp spring arm 3D dot spring length 0.25. And let me check clamp. I'm just going to read it real quick. Interesting. Okay, so this is value for the variant. Okay, I got it. I see. I got it. So it sets it to this value, and this is the min, this is the max. Put a negative, positive or negative value in the first part. Okay, I see. Yep. I get it now. So this will be minus 0.2. This can go, let's see. Or I could use the set length property. I'm not sure which one's more efficient or if it matters. But essentially like this. I'll hold on to that for a second. And that's going to be a +2. Let's see. Let's see if that's a lot better. All right. I can go way out here. Or I can zoom in. That's actually 0 there, apparently. Oh, that's because the spring arm... Well, no, because I'm setting the spring arm length. I wonder why that's 0. Let me go ahead and print. Print. Oh, not sprint again. Print. Spring arm length. Spring arm 3D dot spring length. What is it like? Expected statement found else instead. Interesting. Is spring length a function? Let's check that. I don't think so. I think it's a property. Let's do get length. Print interrupts the... Oh, I see. I see. I can actually get rid of the else now. I don't even need it anymore. Sorry. I am not a software engineer, obviously. Okay. So let's see. I mean, that should work anyway. Let's see. Okay, so my spring arm length starts at 0.5. Now it's 0. Now it goes up to 25. And now it's 0. And then I think I still have, on this, do I still have safety margin of 5? I think I can set that to 0 now. Okay. 0.25. I might keep that safety margin though, because that honestly made it kind of nice. But let's check first. See what, now that it's really focused, it still has problems. Okay, but I think I can fix that too just by tracking, because right now I'll show you something. It's kind of interesting. If I don't, well, I guess it would take some work here, but I'll do it anyway. Essentially, well, I think it would take work to undo. I had a bug at one point where essentially when I'd zoom out, it slides. I can actually show you on mouse and keyboard because I haven't fixed that yet. So when I zoom out, see how it slides? So when I zoom in, it slides down, obviously. It's because it's just changing the Y direction, right? Instead of going like this, which it should do, right? There should be dynamic. So I fixed that, and that's good, and it looks great. The thing that happens is when I'm on a corner and I zoom out or zoom in, see how it goes down? So I need it to track up faster. So essentially I need to stay trained on the middle of the cell. Or another option is to adjust where out in the cell I'm tracking to. Okay, let me not get too sidetracked here. Okay, so let's see. So this looks pretty good. Oops. Let's see. I can get way too close though, so I am going to keep using the safety margin here of like 2 though, not a 5, because I do want people to be able to zoom in. Okay, so that's how close they can zoom in. They'll be able to see some details, which is nice. And zoom out, looks good. Rotate. Zoom in, control. And that breaks it, which is fine. I think what I need to do, I have 2 options. One, I get really fancy, and based on the rotation, I change the point of the cell that it's targeting, which I guess I really only care about the left and right to be in the center. It can be up higher on the screen, so I could look at like that back corner here. I could look at the back corner here as opposed to, like right now I'm looking at the center. But if I just translated it to here, which I think is 1 step in the X direction, that might work, at least for that rotation. And then I could have it based on rotation, change what it's doing. Okay. I could have it either use up delta, right delta, down delta, or left delta. Or I could always have it use up delta because I'm setting that up here. But I actually want, let's see, negative delta mod, which is -1. So I think I actually want negative up delta for this. Let's see. Plus, so minus up delta dot x. Not dot x. Yes. Let me think here. So tracking, I think I'll do it on both of these, minus up delta dot x. And then I'm setting the up delta based on the rotation. So that should be dynamic. And that should always look at the top now of the cell instead of, so I'm looking at obviously the corner. So I kind of messed that up. I mean, it's not bad, but let's see. I want to look at the top corner. So maybe it's a right delta and not an up delta. Oops, not ring. And it wouldn't always be dot X, right? This one would be dot Z. That was actually probably the problem. Okay, so let's see. So now it is way over there. Let's go back to up delta. I think my problem was just that I used dot X on both. So let's see. Yeah. Oh, interesting. So now I'm really looking at the bottom of it. So I went backwards. So I think I need to use down delta. Now it's never going to get there. Oh, actually, it kind of fixed that. Huh. Is this one broken? No, this will be fine. It is kind of looking at the bottom, though. Oh, you know what? Maybe that's okay. So I think it's looking at the corner there. But the deal is it never goes down a step. So you can see here, like, it never changes until I do that, and then it readjusts. So whenever I'm just go off a cliff, it won't do anything. And then when I do that, it'll readjust. I think I would rather it look at the top corner, though, as opposed to the bottom corner. But bottom corner is not bad. I think I'm on the right direction. So then I would need down delta, or yeah, down delta. Or maybe plus up delta, let me think. So it went this way. So it starts in the left corner, it goes to the bottom corner. I want it to go to top corner. Maybe it's left delta. I guess I could just try these until they work. What's happened to think? Okay, let's see. There we go. I fixed it. So it was left delta. Okay, so then it goes down. I think looking at the bottom's better. So now when I zoom out, it's broken. So it is better, I think, to stay on the current layer until it comes off. All right. So yeah, that looks pretty good. And because, let me make sure when I'm zooming in, it doesn't break. It doesn't. And then I can always do that and it just readjusts. And that's not bad at all. I think that feels pretty good. That's a little bit off. I might increase the tracking a little bit, which is just increasing the speed. So right now it's a speed of 5. See if it tracks a little better at 10. Kind of gets off for a second there, which is fine. It's not that bad. Feels very responsive though at 10. Wonder why it's so slow. Wonder why it takes so long. Let me see what's going on. So I select the grid. Takes probably half a second. I want it to pop up. I'm curious. I think this is gonna look wild, so I'm not gonna keep it. I'm curious if I go to 50, if it'll track fast enough. Oh my goodness. I forgot about zooming being insane. It shouldn't have. Honestly, zooming should not be impacted by speed anymore. Why is zooming impacted by speed? That's really interesting. Oh, you know what? It's because whenever you zoom, it tracks. Okay, that's fine. That's like instant. Oh, that's super fast. But honestly, somewhere between there, and I can't zoom out. So something like 20 might be okay. It's probably too fast because I don't want it to look too robotic, right? But I want it to be smooth. Okay, I like that. Zoom feels pretty good. I don't know. I feel like that feels pretty decent. It feels a little bit fast. Does it look jerky or anything, or what are your thoughts? To me, it feels very responsive. I know you can't see my controller. Maybe if I do this. So it feels pretty good. What is... Oh, okay. That's all right. I also have this delta speed that I think I can turn off. So I think I can make this... The zooming still felt good, actually, but I think I can make this, or not make this 1 for rotating. I guess these are all parameters I could tweak to as I'm play testing. Okay. Well, never mind. Okay, that feels pretty good. Probably needs to be a little faster. I can turn the delta up a little bit. To like ×2 for the zooms. Okay. That was interesting. Okay, that is a pitfall with how I'm doing the tracking, is every time I break 90 degrees, it changes, and so it's going to flip the focal point. Which I guess I could just turn that off for that. So not a huge deal. I could just say, hey, while you're holding it, turn that off, which is fine. So let's go. So right now it's using up delta, down delta, or up delta. Let's think. How would I turn that off? I don't think I can, not easily anyway, unless I just don't on the rotation, I need to update the deltas for control. That way, if you're moving and you move, it does, which is why center is so good. The only problem with center is it does the weird bugginess. But yeah, if I want to like move while I'm rotating, I can right now. But I don't like how not smooth that rotation is. I'd much rather it be smooth. Which I guess I could just turn down the delta speed and it probably would be a lot more smooth. Interesting, okay. Oh, you know what? I'm changing velocity here too. It might be better if I changed... Okay, so actually with spring arm length, I might not need to do this at all. Since I have a set spring arm length here. Let's check. Oh yeah, spring arm helps with that a lot. Very nice. Good call again on spring arm. Okay, so the only thing I don't like now is when I rotate, it's going to shift to the bottom corner, which might be all right. I mean, it helps you kind of see what your control is. It does help set the control a little bit. I have to think about it. These are all parameters I can change pretty much on the fly, though. Not too worried about it. But it does get rid of my jerkiness, which is way worse. Okay. For now, I'll leave it. Okay, so now, got all that mess cleaned up. Next thing now is select a character. And I think the way I'm going to do that, I got to think here. So I have the target grid. I know what grid I'm on. I do know what grid the characters are on based on their position. I think I can say, hey, look up one square. And I guess I can make them stop falling now. I could say, like, look up one square. That's essentially where the highlight is, because that's already up one square. And then from there, select this person. First thing I'm going to do is, if there's a character on the square, I need to go to a different tile, which means I need to add a tile to my tile map. Which is a little unfortunate. Well, I mean, it's not that unfortunate. Not a huge deal, but I have to go edit my tile map, which is going to change all my indices. Because I think I want this, like, index 1. Okay. Let's do this. Okay, so let's see. So these are my tiles. So I have all of these. I think I need a new tile. I could probably give it a better name. Okay, I'm going to change this to hover tile. Change this to select tile. Not like that, select tile. All right, before I actually get going here, I'm going to just hit play. I'm going to be right back. Be right back. Take this real quick. All right, check. Check. Just checking the level. All right. Very good. I'm clipping 1 second. Clip, check. All right. All right. So let's see. I lost my people. No, that's because I'm in world. Okay, so I need to create a new hover tile. And then I need to create a select tile. I think when I actually do the textures for everything, I'm gonna make this a little bit better. I think for now, I'm just gonna make it like a different color blue or something. Maybe I can make it emit. Let me move it over here so I can see it. What if I have it emit blue? Does that make it glow? Oh, wait. Is it doing both? So they're both using the same material. Okay. So I need to undo. Keep that off. Let's move this out of the way. Let's make that unique. Make unique. And make unique. Okay. Now I'm guessing I should be able to turn on this. Nope. They're still tied to each other. Okay, that's all right. So what I'm gonna do then is delete this material. No. Clear. Oh man. Okay. So it's because they're the same. If I change this to tile 2, I think it's just how it's referencing it. Let's see if that works. Nope. Interesting. Okay. So now if I clear this, they're both clear. Okay. I mean, it's easy fix, I guess. Still kind of weird. Okay, I need a new box mesh. I'm gonna make it 2 by 2, 5.01. I think is what that is. I just have it 0, which is fine. 0. Okay. Then what I'm gonna do here is make a new material. Maybe I could try a new shader material. I've never done any with shaders. So basically, I think that's how I could try to make it glow a little bit. See, I would need a shader file. You know what? Let's just keep it simple for now. I'll make it look pretty later. Okay. Let's make it blue first off. Okay. Keep it transparent. Let me see what I've got this one at. So this one I have as 00255. Actually, I have 255 there, and I have transparency set here. Maybe that's the wrong way to do it. Nope. I think that's the right way to do it. So alpha scissors 1. Okay. So that's the color. Okay. Transparency. Alpha scissor 1. I think I have subtract. Oh, alpha edge. That's on anti-aliasing. That shouldn't affect it. What do I have? Alpha scissor 1. Back always. I feel like I had different different options here. Let's check. Why did it turn brown? Edge. Okay, maybe that did make a difference. Okay. Sure. Can I make it glow? Okay, do I need like a glow? Well, I think when it goes in the world, because in the actual world there's a world environment, which I imagine will kind of make it glow. So that should help. Let's see if that makes it glow. So what I have to do here then is I have to export as mesh library. I'm gonna probably lose my entire map. I'm just gonna call it test select. Okay, let's see what happens. Main, let's go to world. Let me do this real quick. Okay, clear. Clear. Test select. All right. Oh man, I just realized. Okay, well, I gotta go in and change all these back to half. I also don't see my new tile. Tile 2 is missing. Why is that? I have tile. Okay, so I gotta do a few things real quick. Let me undo this. Let's go into tiles. I'm gonna do it in here this time. Okay, I need to change all of the sizes or the scaling of these all to 1. I don't think the overrides will work. I think I have to do it. Let me think. Why did I not do it here last time? So here I'll show you what I did last time. Last time in my actual mesh, I looked here and I transformed the mesh all in here and gave a transformation here to put this right above. I wonder if I can just create a new item in here without having to, here's the deal, I'm gonna have to do this a lot. So I need something that's scalable. As I fix graphics and things, I don't want to have to come in and do this every time. So because of that, I think I just need to update this. I don't think I want to update the size because I have meshes that are all done in Blender, right? And they're all 2x2, but I need them to be 1x1. So let's see, let me think. Oh, how can I scale? It could be this, but here's the problem. I know for a fact this does not translate to scaling. I've tried it. I need to do it up in the mesh instance 3D. Somewhere in here, there's hopefully a scaler, but I don't see it. A material override, nothing in this geometry instance 3D actually translates either. Either just the mesh. So maybe I can't do that. Let me think. Let me think here. What's custom AABB? Overrides bounding box this node, the custom one. Culling. Interesting. I probably need to write a script that automatically, when I transfers it over, goes into this mesh and changes all of these to half. I wish I didn't have to do that. That's probably what I need to do. Let me real quick open the documentation up here and see where it's getting the transform. Let's see. Ooh, I can't do that. Okay, well, that's all right. Huh. So this is property of the mesh library and not of the mesh. So that's interesting. And then, very interesting. Well, I don't like that too much. You know, I probably can. Let's see. If I look at this and I go look at this. Let's see if there, I probably can get the mesh and I can set, so I can set mesh transform here. All right. I mean, if I was going to do a script, I could probably easily do that. The other thing though, create a new item in the library. So I can create something in this mesh library. I wonder if I can do that here. I'm probably not. I'll have to figure that out. So let's see, if I select this, I'm thinking I can maybe turn on emission here. So like if I copy property path, for example, and in my script here, let's just paste it somewhere. Emission, oh, it just says emission enabled. Okay, I can get me. Let me see something. Let me find out where, let me find one real quick. It's probably in world. Okay. Let me print get cell item next grid. Let's see. So after I set that, I want to get that dot emission. What is it? Emission enabled. Cannot find property. Okay. First, I have to figure out how to get to it. Get cell item. So what does this get? The mesh library index. Returns its orientation. So if I layer the collision layer, okay. Array of the transform 3D and mesh references. Okay. Make big meshes. Meshes. Okay. Set collision layer value, select collision mass value, set navigation map. So get cell item mesh library index. Let's see. So I can get the item name. Get item mesh. Let's start with that. And then there should be like a get material. Yeah, there's a set material. So I can do a get material. And then I can probably use the dot emission, I'm guessing. So let's try that. Okay, so get cell item dot. So I got the cell item get mesh. What was it? So get cell item. Should be a cell item here. Maybe it is get mesh library. Let's see. Let's go back to here on the world. Lookup symbol. Okay. So that returns the mesh library index. Okay, that returns the item index, but not the mesh library itself. So it returns the mesh library item index. Let me see if there returns an array meshes. Okay. These valid property descriptions. Okay, so these are properties. So I should be able to do dot. Let me see something here. Mesh library. Okay. So I should be able to do grid map dot mesh library. If I follow this down, grid map dot mesh library dot Okay, here, let's do this. Let's do one thing at a time. I'm starting to get tired. I need some caffeine. Okay, we're just going to start with world, which is where I'm at. Right, this is the world, which is, okay, so that is a grid map. So mesh library. Okay. Interesting. So parameter mesh is null. Scene undo, set mesh library. Interesting. Let's clear this real quick. See if I'm still getting these errors. Okay. So yeah, I'm getting a mesh library number. Let me clean up some of these print statements. Don't think I need them anymore. Well, those are useful. Let me just. Okay. So then I'm going to do mesh library. Is it dot mesh? Nope, probably not. Let me check the symbol. The symbolism. Mesh library dot. I could do get meshes. I don't want to do get meshes necessarily. Okay. Let's see. Don't know why I would do mesh library dot mesh library. That doesn't make sense. Oh, this is grid map. So grid map dot mesh library. Okay. Dot. No, I could be completely. Okay, so I see. Need to go to mesh library. Dot mesh library dot. Is there properties in here? Nope. Interesting. Turns on items collision shapes. Turns on items name. Get item preview. So I could do get item mesh, which I think is what I want. So get item mesh on item 0. Get item mesh 0. Let's see. Let's return the mesh dot material dot get mesh. Okay. Let's see. So get a mesh, and let me go back to the mesh documentation here. So then when I'm in a mesh, I should be able to get material. Just do a search for material. Surface, get material, maybe. Override the surface material. How do you run code through VS Code on a MacBook? That is a really good question. I don't know a lot about Macs, unfortunately. So I'm sorry about that. You know what we could do? Because it would be great to help. Let's ask ChatGPT. Let's see what ChatGPT has to say about that. So we'll just say, how do I get code to run through VS Code on MacBook? And we'll say, I can't seem to open my website. Where at in these steps are you? Here are some helpful tips. Take a screenshot if you need to. Let's see if this helps. And let me know what you think. So let me know. You can clip that if you need to go back to it. Good deal. No problem. Glad to help. Honestly, terrible at a lot of this stuff. ChatGPT is sometimes a true hero. Thanks for the follow. Appreciate that. All right. So let's see. Maybe I'm going to try getting the material here and see what happens. I don't know if I'll get it or not because I think the material on the surface, like if you go to the mesh here, maybe it is. I mean, that's the only place for surface. Let's try it. Okay, so dot surface get material. Is that a method? Let's see. That is a constant. It's under methods. It is a method. Okay. Let's see what doesn't it like about it. Expects. Okay, so it's expecting an integer, probably like a 0. For the index. Let's see what it thinks about that. It did not like that. So I'm in a box mesh. Okay, yeah. And there's no surface get material in a box mesh. Huh. Interesting. Let's see if there's box mesh in here so I can see the exact things. So in a box, I'm doing surface get material. It doesn't like it. AABA, get surface count. Oh, you know what? I think that's just this. I think that's the problem. There we go. Okay. So I think it is getting the material now. I have a lot of other junk in here, so it's hard to tell. Apologize, I'm just gonna check. Getting some Teams messages. All right, so let me see. So here's materials. So it has a material ID. So then what I want to do is get emission dot emission. I don't know if it'll let me. Let me go back to this. Look at this. And then let's check material. This is where I'm at. So I think this should work. That should be a property, and I should get a no. I should get like a false. And look at that, I'm getting a false, which is great. That's exactly what I want. If I turn it on, let's see what this looks like. Now I'm getting a true. Look at that. So then all I have to do, I can have it off by default. Okay, so this is really good information. So let me see if I make settings on here like this and turn it off. Does it save those settings? Yes. Let's turn the energy way up. I'm curious if this even looks like anything. Okay, it's a little brighter. Add, let's do multiply. No, needs to stay add. Are there any textures? No, it's okay. Okay. Ultimately, oh, interesting. Okay. Ultimately, that's this up here. This guy. Oh, it does not like zooming in as much. Okay. So then let me go back to world. Let's look at the mesh map. The mesh map. And let's see if I can make this glow a little bit brighter. Set a curve on it. So that's gonna make it pink. I guess pink's okay. Give this a constant. It's curve X. Curve Y. Curve Z. So let's see that. So that makes it turn white, which is kind of interesting. Maybe we'll just make it pink. But I don't necessarily want it pink. I could alternate, make it do this. Let's see if I can understand what's happening here. So this is taking the blue and making it potentially glow. So this is all red. Is that right? Look at this curve. Let's turn this off for a second. So an XYZ texture. A new curve texture. Okay, so there's RGB. Let's see. So it's either white or blue. Can I change that? Okay, so it's like a gradient. Interesting. Okay, so what I'm changing then, this is an XYZ direction. Okay, let's get rid of all that. Very interesting. New mesh. This is probably fine, honestly. It changing colors is probably what I need. Okay. So, if I turn this off, it turns blue. If I turn this on, it turns white. That's great. That's what I need to do the code. So then what I have to do is essentially I need to set that property when I highlight somebody. Okay, this is a little fast. I need to turn this down. Let's do that real quick. I think I was a little ambitious with my speed here. I'm gonna turn it down to like 10. Just make sure I didn't break anything or nothing is acting weird. So let's check. Okay. That feels pretty good. Let's zoom out, right? Zoom in, zoom out. The only thing I don't like is it doesn't track extremely well. What does rotating feel like? Besides the big jumps, it's not bad. I do want to fix the big jumps. Let me make a note. On rotating, fix the jumps on the corners. Okay. Let's see. What's next? Ooh, it's like way off. That's why. Okay. Interesting. I mean, it does kind of feel like you lock into place when you're controlling it because it changes the controls. So maybe it's not really a bad thing. I don't think it's necessarily a good thing though. I'll work on that later. It's not what I'm working on right now. Right now, I want to, if a character is there, oh man. I want to highlight. Don't get distracted. Okay. So then, what I want to do here is I need to say if there's a character there. So I could say like if there's a collision. I could do that. The collision point's so small. I don't want to highlight above the character, so I think what I need to do is check for players at those locations. Let me think. I guess I could do this really simply and say something like var players list, and when it's ready, say like players list equals root slash root slash main slash player. That's one. Comma. Slash root slash main slash player 2. Can I do lists like that in here? No. I could do some kind of vector. Can I just do like an array? Yeah, okay. Array. No constructive array matches the signature array string equals array. Let's see. Let me figure out some stuff about arrays here. Okay, so yeah, I mean, I could just set an array like this. Oh, I get to use boxes, little square brackets. So, okay. Don't think this is the cleanest. I need to do this dynamically because I essentially want to say, hey, if one of these don't exist, just to check something out and make a player 5. I think it'll crash. I think it's going to say, hey, well, no, it won't. And it won't because this is just a list of strings. It doesn't even know that these are nodes, which is fine. Okay. So that may not actually be that bad after subscription index. What is it talking about? Well, let's go down to 2 real quick, because I think I had that working. Interesting. So it doesn't like that array. Should work fine. Array. Oh, I guess I don't need to even call out array. That's why. Cool. Fantastic. Okay, so the next thing I need to do is for players, I guess I'll say player nodes. Player node. We'll say var player node. Player node. In players list. And we'll say if get node player node. Just to see if this works. Print player node, comma, player node. Okay. This is gonna go a little bit crazy as I move the mouse, but cool. So 1, 2, 3, 4, perfect. Look at that. That's like perfect. So then I can essentially have another one that is var player locations, and I can say let's see, so for player node, and then what I can do also is say I plus equals or equals, let's see, I actually should be able to do plus equals 1, right? And I should be able to just do var I equals 0. And I could say up here, before the for statement, I could say I equals 0. I bet there's a really clever way to do indices there. I don't know what it is. So then I have I plus equals 1. I can say player locations equals, this needs to be in the if statement, equals get node player node dot, what is it, position, and then what I'm going to do here then is move this. I'd actually say player locations I equals get node that, and then I'm going to print player node position locations I. Okay, that will break. Actually need to do that. Okay. Ooh, it didn't like something. Okay, set index value 0 on base nil with value of type vector 3. It doesn't like that I put a vector 3 inside player locations for some reason. Can I just do this? Oh man, okay. On base array, so it is an array. Can I do this? No. Invalid set index 1. Okay. So it doesn't like, let me see back to the array stuff. Array. Let's see, var array equals that. Okay. What I'm trying to check here is I want it. I guess you know what I can do? Okay, this is gonna be sloppy coding, but you know what? I bet the video game world is full of sloppy coding. Player. Oh, I do need that, huh? Player locations equals vector 3 0 0 0. I will have a player limit, but I think that's good. I don't want a hard-coded player limit. If I could avoid it, I would, but I mean 6 players in this game would be a lot. Oh my goodness. Okay, well it's working now. Okay, yes, so now it returns all their positions. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do is round it. So player positions equals round. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know who I'm apologizing to, but I'm sorry in general. Player locations equals round. Get position. Okay. Two, one, man, that looks great. Okay. So now I say, if, maybe I don't even need all that, if this equals next grid, then if that equals next grid, mesh library dot emission enabled equals true. Else. False. And when I have other stuff I want to highlight, I'll be able to do that. So what doesn't it like about this? If round get node player dot position equals next grid is the same as next grid. Okay. So not quite. I'm off by one. I'm off by a few. Interesting. Why that one? Are there other cells? That's really interesting. Let's think. You know what? It only works on the fourth one, first off. Because I need a flag, essentially. Okay, so if this... Okay, I need to end the for loop if I find one. I think that's what I need to do. Let's kind of look up for loop. Should be able to, I'd imagine. Okay, that's okay. Can I say like leave for okay, don't want another 4. Let's search that real quick. Okay. Let's see. So here I could, how do I force leave a for loop in GDScript? And I guess we can watch. This is where I'm again using ChatGPT. Break. Duh. Thanks, ChatGPT. Okay, I'm gonna be off, I think, by 1, but that's okay. Might be off by more than 1. Okay, I'm off by 1 in 2 directions. That's really good, though. Okay, I need to set my arm further back. So right now, what is it set at? Is it in here? No. Spring arm. It's probably under ready. Where am I setting my spring arm length? I imagine here, right? Oh, I got rid of my variable, so I just need to set it here to like 2. Okay. Let's see. So that's working well. It's just off by 1. I think. Why is it off by 1? If the position... Okay. So I'm rounding it. It needs to also, like, I can take position minus array 3, 1 comma, array 3 d, sorry. What is that? Not array. What is it? Vector 3. There we go. 1 comma 0 comma 1. Let's see if that looks better. Interesting. Very interesting. That seems a little random. Let me see what's going on there. Okay. So I'm subtracting 1 here. That should be true. If this is 0. Oh, you know what? I might have to add. It might just be the way it's laid out, but I don't know why it would separate them like that. So interesting. Okay, so it has to do with the z heights. Okay. So this one needs to go 1, 2, 1, 2. So it should be subtract. Interesting. Okay, so let's look at selected grid, current grid. Interesting that they're back here. Let's think. So let me look at the locations of these players. It's 2, 2.5, 0.5. So all those should round up. $1.5, 1.5. So they should both go to 2. Okay, let me do some printing. Print. I don't need this anymore. Player node position, sure, but I want that. I actually don't even need to do this anymore. Which means I don't really need this anymore. Okay, first off, print. So when this happens, let me just actually put this outside of this. Actually, yes. Let's print this. Let's say player position. Get player node. Okay, so get that. I also want to print next grid. Next grid. They should be the same. They won't. But this should let me see how far they are off. All right, let's see what's going on. Oh, it did not like that. Okay, that's because I was setting it. I'm glad I don't need that. I don't want to be that much hard coding. Okay. So there it thinks yes. But it's like 0.5. So let's see. Let me get rid of this mouse keys nonsense. That's under UI control. No, it's not. It's under camera. I know that's working now. Don't need that. Definitely don't need controller. I already have that gone. Okay. 1 moment. I'm going to take off for a second. All right. Let me check this. Let's just set levels real quick where I'm not clipping. And there you go. Okay. Let's check this out. Let's see what's going on here. Okay. All right. Back to my game. Okay, so let's see. Oh, interesting. That one. Let's see. Okay, so player position is rounding -1, 1, -1. You know, it may round. Interesting. Okay, so next grid is, let's do a positive number just because it'll be easier. Let's see, that one. Positive number or negative numbers may be breaking this, which is fine. That's fixable. So yeah, so that rounds to 1, 1, 1. And so it is. This, that player position. Oh, you know what? Let's just make this a little bit easier on myself. Around that. Do not add. What? Okay. Oh, I have insert on. Okay. One, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, it matches. So this is 1, 1, -1, 1, 1, -1, they match. Which is interesting. That's why they match, okay. Okay, I need to report out. I need to report this out outside of here. Player position. Okay. I need this to be up here. It's gonna go by fast, but I think I should see it in time. Tell if it matches or doesn't. Okay, so that matches. Oh, nice. Okay, so 1, 1, 1. That should be 1, 1, 0. 0, 1, 0. So we'll start with 1, 1, 0. Okay. I'm at 1, 1, -1 because I'm subtracting 1 because I'm rounding. I also want the unrounded version. Okay, I think it's just negatives. I think if it's negative, so I could probably say subtract, let me think. If, you know what, I could probably do something with absolute value. Is there like an absolute value function? If absolute value of that equals absolute value of that. The only time it wouldn't is if I'm, no, I don't think it's gonna work. I'll show you why I don't think it's gonna work. I mean, it might work, but the problem, maybe it's not a problem. Maybe that just works. No, I think when I get to the negative side of it, wait for it. Maybe not. Okay, so this is 1, 1, 1. I would think -1, -1, -1 would also, or -1, 1, 1. How's that not? Okay, how about -1, -1, -1? Oh. So because the Z value, I mean, there might be one out here that, but no, because the Z value, it's really not. Okay. That actually looks pretty good. That's exactly what I wanted to do. That's fantastic. That might be goal met, at least the first part. I can now go to characters. I want to be able to click one. But what is it going to do? I guess when I click one, I want it to save the position of the character. That's great. Cool. And I actually already am highlighting when I'm on it. So let's turn off all this targets, next grid, all that stuff. Okay. And let me turn off print. Don't have any more prints in here. Oh yeah, okay. That could be useful. Okay. The other thing I need to do, what is it, spring arm length? Which I think is here. Oh, am I still printing the spring arm length? Okay. So now I want to say which player. That's great. Okay, so then what I want to do is on world here, I'll make a variable called active player. Okay. Sorry, I'm fighting my mic here. Active player. And I probably want to do this in the map, I guess. Maybe in U in control. I mean, this is where I have all my stuff. I need to organize my code better. Because a lot of this probably doesn't really, I mean, this is all control, so that makes sense. It's controlling the camera. But this next part is probably in UI control. So basically I say, if let's see, project, let me look at my inputs, filter by A, so show built in, if UI accept, if input is pressed, if it is pressed, instead of rotate left to UI accept. And really this should probably be in world, because that's where the action's taking place. That's the scene. So honestly, it probably should be here. So if input is pressed, UI accept, var, I don't know why the mic got all weird. var active player. If that's pressed, see var, I'll say a var active player, var current player, and then when I do this, say current player equals player node. And then I could say current player. I could just get rid of the print right now. I think I'm done with it. Okay, so current player equals player node. I'm really surprised I'm not highlighting other cells here. I would think maybe it's because, I don't know. That's okay. Okay, so then if input is pressed, do I accept? I'll say active player equals current player. Okay, and then I'm going to say print active player. Actually print active player, comma, active player, and then say print active position. And I'm going to say get node active player dot position. I'm going to use all of this. I'm really curious here. That won't work. This will. But I gotta fix rounding on negative numbers. I need to know this. Or I just start everything at 0, 0, which is probably a better option. Yeah, I'm gonna, I think, do that. Keep everything between 0 and 100 in the future. Okay. Active position equals that. Okay. Here I can say active player equals nothing. I want it to be empty. And then I want to say if UI is pressed, UI if I press like triangle, square, square, UI cancel. UI cancel, active player equals blank again. Because I can do LF in case I hit both at the same time. It picks one. Okay. Oh, it didn't like something. Get node. Oh, okay. So I do need to say if active player. Oh, I guess if get node active player. So I only want to do that when I'm getting an active player, which makes sense. Okay. Oh, it broke. Let's see. What didn't it like? Oh, that's because it's player node. That needs to be active player. See? Okay, it doesn't like those ones. Okay. Very interesting. Okay, it is not canceling. Okay. It did not work. In case you're curious. That did not work. Print. Active. Should oh, well. I probably want to move all this outside of this if statement. That's probably what's going on here. Print. Active. Print. Not active. Let's step out for a few minutes here in a moment. Let's check. Okay, I'm getting a lot of errors. Okay. It is now active. Not active. Look at that. I wonder why it's... What's screaming here? What are all these errors that it doesn't like? Oh, node not found. Well, I mean, sure. That's why I'm checking. Okay, so I don't want to. Let's think. So this is line 51. Oh, if get node. Interesting. I would think that's a valid way to do this. Obviously it's not. It doesn't like that. I don't want to deal with, maybe I just do like slash root, right? Slash main. And then, let's see, is that player node? Var player node equals slash root slash main. And then maybe what I do here is if get node dot let's see. The node, so like a type. If get node dot what? Get node dot dot what? Here. So what I want is character body 3D. So class type. Get node dot. There's not really a lot of properties here, which I'm surprised by. The name, owner. I'll be back. I'm gonna think about it for a second. I am back. I am back. Okay. So, the next thing I need to do here is, one second, check. Next thing I need to do here is I need to use has instead of get node. I took that opportunity to do a quick search. So, instead of get node, if has node. And I can do this as has node. Okay. So I don't need to do this. Cool. Let's see what happens. Oh, I gotta hit A. A. So that is now my active position and active player. That's so good. Okay. Cancel. No longer active. A. 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 Fantastic. That's select out of the way. Maybe I need to keep a tile on the active player. I think I can do that pretty easily. Let me do that real quick. So basically all it would be is set sell item here. Also, the only problem is it's going to change the material. We'll check. I mean, it's probably just be blue, which might be okay. Let's see. Oh, right here. So essentially, oh, not next grid. Gotta cancel that. Essentially, while one's active, this should be active player. Okay. Let's see what happens. Okay, it's all off by one, which is fine. I knew that was coming. Okay. But that's pretty much what needed to happen. Okay, so now I've got to fix my negative number rounding problem. Which is a really interesting problem. Are these players, they're right in the middle, or they should be. When they fall, they might move a little bit, I guess. Interesting. So when it rounds, if I'm rounding like negative 0.5, I think it's rounding to 0. Oh no, it's rounding to negative 1. So I need to, I wonder if there's other round options. Okay, I could floor it. Okay. Yes. I think I want to floor it. That's a much better option. That's probably what I should do for a lot of these things. That's always in the cell. So everywhere I round, I should probably be flooring. Okay, I'll have to figure. Let's go ahead and do it. Floor, and then I don't think I need this. Okay, this is mode 2. That's mouse mode. Yeah, much better. Look at that. Okay, where else am I using round? Nowhere in there. So instead of round, floor. I don't need ABS anymore. Just need floor it. Floor. Floor. Okay. Well, I broke those, obviously. So, oh, I still, well, no, floor equals next grid. They should be right. What happened there? Are they anywhere? Maybe it's because the Z direction's off. Shouldn't be. Maybe floor this plus vector 3 0 1 0. Okay, yeah. And then I can select. Oh, interesting. Okay, that's a problem. I can delete map that way. Honestly, kind of cool. Okay, but not what I'm trying to do. Okay. So, I need this. Basically, okay. Current player equals that. Active player. Position +1. Okay, that didn't work still. Oh, it's because it's printing. I need to do where I'm actually setting something. Oh, you know what? I do actually not want a +1. Look at that. That's pretty good. Hey, thanks for the raid. Appreciate it, Titanium Clad. Thanks for the follow as well. What are you working on? Are we working on a game? Hey, Jitspo. Today, we are working on kind of a tactics game here. It's my first game ever made in Godot. So right now, my goal is to be able to select and navigate to these characters. I got kind of all my navigation coded up. And I would say it's looking pretty good. Pretty happy with it. I just coded this selection. Obviously, it's not perfect, but essentially it highlights when you look at somebody and I can select somebody. Very nice. Very nice, Jitspo. Sorry, I didn't have a raid notification. I need to take a look at that. Hey, Creature Con. Very cool. Roguelite dungeon crawler and a town builder. Very nice. A lot of Godot. It's very popular. Oh yeah, I know. Getting nav working has been so good. I've been working through some bugs, and right now it feels so buttery smooth. Got some nice zooming. Got some nice rotation. Zooming out, looking around. So it's been fun. And then I've got where I can cancel. Ooh. There, oh, I guess it did disappear after I moved, but okay, that's interesting too. So that's a bug in that it's going to look at the last player I looked at. Maybe that's not a bug. Maybe it's a feature. It lets me select players from off the map. I think that's easy. I think all I got to do is change current player back to 0 when I'm not on one. But yeah, very cool. Jitspo, what are you making in Godot? So let's see. So currently here, I need to essentially when current player equals player node, I need to set active player back to 0 here. Momentum focused platformer. Oh, very cool. Fist of the Forgotten. Cool name. Very nice. I haven't tried any FPS anything called Cook. After this, I'll take a look. Very nice. You haven't posted anywhere? Anything out in the world? We can take a look. So let's see. Right now, active player equals current player. Need to set current player back. Yeah, they have all of Steam pages. I'll check them out. Very nice. All right. So let's see. So the next thing I need to do here, so I'm setting the current player back to 0, which is going to let me not select. Let's make sure that was fixed. All right. So I can select, but if I select out here, it doesn't select, which is great. So that's fixed. All right, good stuff. Okay. So the next thing I wanted to do then is I wanted to navigate back to my people, right? Build a press circle or something, or B, navigate back. I think when I get back, kind of get a working demo maybe, or maybe not even working a demo, I just get my mechanics in place, I'll probably create a Steam page. That way people can follow, and if people are interested, they'll have somewhere to go to look at what's going on, which I think will be good. Okay, so the next thing then, I need to pass this active player back to my camera control. And essentially, if I press B, I want to set, if active player exists, set my target square to the active player's position. That's kind of my goal here. Let's go ahead and take one of these structures here. And I'll just put it at the top here because I want to do it before any movement, so it reacts pretty quickly. I also want to do it, let me think here. I think I can do it outside of, let me see if I don't think I use target squares when I'm in mouse and keyboard mode, right? So I can do it in controller mode for now. I might expand that though. Essentially if, and let me check what the UI is here. Oh, do I not have one? Interesting, okay. Let's make one real quick. Interesting. So what do I have? I have UI accept. I'll do like UI return. Okay. Clear. So let's check here. So UI return, I want to, on there, do UI return. And then I think this is pretty easy. I think from here I go, don't worry about control counter. Just if I hit UI return, I want target position. And I actually might have to go set this after I set all my other target positions, which would be after all of this. So here, essentially, if I do that, target position equals, and I would do, let's see, I can do here, get node, /root /main. Actually, let me do this. I might already have that in a variable. I think it's coming from world, so it's world grid map. So world grid map dot, what do I call that? Active player dot position, I think. Okay. No clue if this is going to work first try. That would be great. We'll find out. So let's see. So I have this. Ooh, I just broke it. Okay. Active player about position, invalid index position. Why is that? Let's look. So active player should, oh, okay. I see. So active player is actually just, here's what I should do. Instead of calling active player just by the string, active player really should be probably the full player node. Well, yeah, what I should do instead is on my camera, I would do world grid map.activePlayer, which is a string. And I can say get node world grid map.activePlayer, which will give me that node dot position. Is that how I have that in there? Let's see, get node active player dot position. Yes. Get node not found in base self. That's because I need an underscore. Okay, so get node gets the player position, and I want to floor that to stick to my grid. Okay. Let's see here. Oh, I'd say that looks pretty good. Okay. Fantastic. Okay, the only thing now is when I cancel, I want it to clear the node underneath the person that you're selecting. So that should be under world. Then after I implement that, I'm probably going to call it a night here pretty quickly. You rated as I was closing up. I probably have about 10 minutes left. I do really appreciate the raid. All right, let's see. All right, let's check. So, what am I doing here? Next, I need to, when I hit cancel, I need to clear all of the cell items is what I think I need to do. I think it would be that simple. Or, let's think here. No, I do want to have this every time, this bottom one. But I do want to clear but I want to keep my current one active. You know what? I think I could just move this up here. Does that work? No, not quite. Close. Let's check. All right, so the next thing then, I don't want to just repeat this code. I probably can make this like a function. Function clear. So the function clear cells. Let me see if I can lock this up. Let's get in the way. Okay, so let's see. Function clear cells, which is this. I just got a player to stop spawning in your trees. Hey, that's good. Procedural generation of the world's good. I am nowhere near that yet. I have my tiles defined, so that's a plus. Ultimately, I think it would be really cool in this tactics game to be able to do procedural generation. I'd like to have like one dungeon at the end after you like unlock everything, just be as many procedurally generated rooms as you want. That's kind of the goal. Yeah, I love it whenever I have this bug and finally figured out how it works. So let's see. Ultimately, so clear cells. I don't think I need the underscore, right? I could just do that. And then I could just go, so right now, this is still there. And then I could just go clear cells. I think that works. I'm also, let's see, yeah, that works pretty well. I'm also not a software developer. I'm an engineer, but software development's not really my forte. So this has been a good learning process. All right, that looks pretty good. Okay, so now I need to clear cells when I do this. I don't, the only thing is when I do this, I think it's gonna clear my active cell, right? Like the thing I'm on. So I need to, maybe it's part of clear cells, make sure I'm populating my current select. Oops. Yeah, it's not gonna work. Make sure I'm populating my current cell that I'm highlighting. Okay. Like I expect that to work, but I expect it to, oh, it didn't work. Interesting. Really? Okay. Kind of expected it to. Interesting. Why didn't that work? Okay, so if get used cells and last grid is not selected grid. Ah, I see. So really what I should do is take this. When I move clear cells and when I do this clear cells. It's obviously going to be wrong here for a second. Okay, that looks good. Hey, it pops right back. I don't want it to blink. Well, I mean, maybe. I mean, you get kind of a, as I'm holding X, it disappears. Maybe that's not bad if I wanted to see some details on some square. Maybe that's a feature. So that's really not bad. That's pretty good. I know I need like a hand cam so you can see as I'm hitting buttons, but that's really not too bad. I like that. Okay, and I can return, stay locked in, I can clear. Hey, Chris John, we got this working. So I can select different people. I can go back to that person, just like that, right? And then I can clear. So that was actually the goals for today, was to be able to select and navigate back to people. Clearing was a bonus. So I feel pretty good about today. I'm gonna pull up my my hit list and see what we got. Those done. This is an interesting bug. This is probably the next thing I tackle. So yeah, this next thing is interesting. So I had this weird bug where when I walked down a cliff, right, the screen would go back and forth. And the reason why I was looking at the middle of the tile to determine where my screen was looking, right? And so it didn't know whether to look on top of the cliff or at the bottom of the cliff. I fixed that by looking at the bottom corner of the tile, and it looks pretty good. It feels pretty good. The problem, when I rotate, right, after a certain point, it jumps to the bottom of the tile, which when you're controlling it, it doesn't look good, but it does help with navigation because you're always looking at the bottom of the tile. So it's a little more intuitive. Like I can just feel which way the tile's going to turn based on that. But I don't want it to jump. And so I'm thinking, what I'm kind of thinking is when I'm turning, set it to look at the middle of the tile and then go back to the corner. I do need to look at the corner for when I go off ledges. Otherwise, it jumps back and forth. But it would be kind of nice if, and it is dynamic too with turning, so it's always looking at the bottom corner, which is why it jumps. But when I rotate, I'm kind of thinking that it should go to the middle of the tile, which I think I can do. And I think the way to do it, okay, let's see. So the way I'm tracking, I think I can do this quickly actually. The way I'm tracking is, I'll show you real quick. So I've got a couple different modes. When I'm in controller mode, tracking here. Where is my tracking? It's mode 1. Okay, right here. So I'm taking my target position. This is where I want to be, which is how I'm doing the return back as well. Here's where I am. I'm subtracting this up delta. This keeps me in the corner. I think I can actually, when I'm rotating, set up delta back to like half and half. And then I think I'm good. I think that's all I got to do. I think these are even in the right order where they'll pop back to what they need to be as soon as I'm done rotating. So it might be that easy. Up delta equals vector 3, 0.5, comma 0, comma 0.5. Kind of thinking it might be that easy. I might do the up and down too. I'm trying to think. Do I have problems in up and down? No. I'll leave them. What are you using for? Are you doing any game development? Oh, that's bad. Okay. Not bad. I just have the wrong signs. Still use GameMaker. I've never used GameMaker. I've actually never used anything other than Godot. I've been in Godot for about a week. And I've never done game development otherwise. So definitely a learning experience. Okay, so it locks onto the middle, spins, and then goes. That's pretty good. From the outside looking in, what do you guys think? Does that look pretty good? Oh, that was off. But it's only off because I probably need to adjust the angles. Interesting. Huh. Yeah, I think I need to adjust to like 45 degrees instead of 90s. Yeah, that felt pretty good. Okay, I wonder what other... That's interesting. Escape? Cool. I just got that for free. Cool. Good. I'm glad it looks solid. I feel like I'm biased because, when you have a controller in your hand, it feels a little different, but yeah, I think small tweaks. Yeah, I agree. And so it is when I'm orthogonal. Right there is where it's off, right? When I'm past 90. So I think I can set the 45 degree, which I could just always set it to be in the middle. The big problem is, again, if I'm not on a corner, cliffs are really bad. So I've got to figure that out. So I'm going to add that here to the to-do list. I think that's fixed, but I think the problem is select square does not always stay in center. So I think that's the issue. All right. So let's see. So yeah, I'll show you how that looked, because honestly, I thought it looked really good. And I can change it really quick. The only problem was in this corner thing. It is kind of an interesting problem. I need some commands. I don't have any commands. Pretty new to streaming as well. So let me see. Let's see here. So back here where I'm talking here, instead of the up delta, which I'll just comment these out really quick. If these are instead minus 0.5, actually plus 0.5, then it looks really good, right? Everything stays centered. Controls look great. Like this is exactly how it should look. The only problem is when I come down here. Oh, of course now it's not gonna have a problem. Oh, it's only when I'm zooming, that's right. So you can see it kind of twitching there. And when I zoom, see how rough? But I guess I could just set when I zoom to lock into the bottom corner. And that solves it. Right? So maybe what I should do is this. Plus 0.5. Actually, no, I can't do it like that. I've got to hard code it. I mean, I don't have to hard code it. I could do a variable. And then what I need to do is I need to set a zoom delta. Var zoom delta equals vector 3 delta mod. Or maybe I can just use up delta. Let me think. Oh, nope. Oh, not delta mod, just 0, 0, 0. So I'm gonna set 0, 0, 0 up first. And then I'm gonna say plus zoom delta plus zoom delta. That looks pretty good. And then here in my zoom input, I'm going to say zoom delta equals up delta plus vector 3 0.5 comma 0 comma 0.5. Basically put it back in the center. I think I need to flip both of those signs. So let's see where we're at. Here I'm adding this, so I can keep up delta, I think, but this needs to be negative. We'll see. There's only 4 possible sign choices here. So okay. Oh, I broke it. Oh, I see. .z, .x. Okay, let's check. Okay, so that looks and feels a whole lot better. I can rotate right around the center. Looks fantastic, right? Then I go down here. Still navigates really well. Oh, that's a lot. I need to do that one too. Okay, basically when I zoom. Oh man, it broke it. Okay, that's because I'm not setting zoom delta back to 0. So I need to set zoom delta back to 0. Just at the end of this, I think, actually. So essentially on every, I'll do it at the start. Here. Yeah. Here I'm gonna go zoom delta equals vector 3, 0, 0, 0. And then if I get a zoom, then I had that wrong. I think. Might have had this one wrong. We'll try all 4 combinations till it's right. Okay. Okay, it's going on the top there. I think I might have it. Let's see. It's kind of shifty. I don't like that it shifts so much. I mean, it's not terrible. It keeps it from breaking, I guess. Let me, I'm not thrilled about it though. Let me try that one more time. It's definitely zooming into the top corner. I think I want it to zoom into the bottom corner. So it'd be negative up delta. Oh no, that's way off. So it was right with positive up delta. Let me think here. So I'm adding 0.5, 0.5. And that should rotate. So if I rotate here, oops. So that's the corner over there. Oh, because that's not transforming, but it's consistent. Okay. Oh man. Well, I broke it big time now. Let's see what I changed there. So up delta may not be the right one. Maybe I need to use like right delta or left delta. Interesting. Did I put it in both places? No. That explains everything. It's getting late. I think I'm running out of useful life here. Okay. There you go. All right, so that's still bouncing, but it's because I'm looking at the wrong corner. So let me see. So up delta is just changing. Okay, so it depends. I think I'm gonna have to use left delta. Let's check. Yeah. Oh, that might zoom out bounces. Oh. Okay. It shouldn't, right? If I'm looking at, I must not be looking at the corner here. That's definitely at the bottom corner. That one's looking at the top corner. Okay. I may have to fix this one for another time, but I think we're close. So good stuff. All right. Oh. Ultimately, I think it was a pretty successful stream. We got a lot done, right? Being able to select, deselect, return. I think these are all huge things. I actually thought it was going to take a lot longer than one stream to do that. So pretty happy to see that. All right, let's find somebody to raid now. I'm gonna pass it on. Let's see who we got here. All right, let's see. Pixel animation, that looks good. Well, let's find someone more. How about exploring your neighbor algorithms? Probably not. Yeah, I know nothing about this person. So hopefully all is well. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Night Titanium. And let's see if I can get this working. All right. Sorry, moment here. Okay. Well, everybody, it's been a whole lot of fun. We'll catch you soon here. Let me type this in and see if this command works. Thanks, RJM. It has been a lot in a week. I'm sorry. Oh, wow. Gotta head out, but yeah, we got a lot working today even. So, but I'm about to head out for the night. Hopefully I'll catch you here soon. But I did get a couple things I'll show you real quick. I got character selection working, returning back to them, clearing those selections. Thanks. I'm gonna see if I can raid this way. I don't know if this is gonna work. So I'm using a restream. I've never tried raiding and restream, so wish me luck. But yeah, we'll catch y'all soon. It's been fun. Let's raid with some smiles here. Oh, it doesn't like that. Okay. Well, let's see if we can do this from Twitch directly. All right. Very good. Hey, well, we'll catch everybody soon. Let's give lots of smiles in the chat here. Have a good one.